From the Depths, new playthrough, episode 17. Today we continue to wrap up the Onyx-Watch and use them to test two new missile craft. The first one, which you are seeing here, its main plus probably is just sheer speed, going at about 44 meters per second. Its actual missile bay is not very big, it only fires 9 at a time. From the front, without a one turn, and they are radar guided. Each missile has 2 units of EMP and 2 units of explosive. The little gun on top is, I believe, 100, but it's not really the one I'm going to settle with. I need a bit more rate of fire. And this is the next one. I call this, for now, a sneaky miss. It's basically designed to be as stealthy as possible. I'm not entirely unhappy, but I'll be honest with you, for all the work I put in, it wasn't as sneaky and stealthy as I thought it was going to be. Against easy and regular craft, it can get in pretty close actually sometimes, like almost up to 1,000 meters in some of these ones. But against the regular and godly, they can see it very easily, it seems. So, since it is a little stealthy and it's very small, it actually is quite hard to hit. The way it tends to bob up and down as it moves in the waves is probably its biggest detriment as far as detectability is. Changing from a fuel engine to RTGs and an electric motor seemed to make no difference as far as the sonar profile was concerned. But now with the new update and not making any difference between the materials, I'm going to convert everything to RTGs and fuel or electric engine. It's just such a hassle having to fuel the engines that it's worth the expense at the beginning. I'll still produce fuel, but I think I'll save it for the engine that I'll use to push the either laser or particle cannon as sort of its supplementary energy source. We're going to test against the white flare craft. I believe this is a piercer, and we're just over 2,000 meters at this point, I believe. Okay, yes, here we are. His shields are not up yet, so he does not detect us. In previous testing, I was able to get between 19 and 1,600 meters before he seemed to detect. Oh, here, his shields are up now. And I'm barely within 2,000, so he detected me pretty quick. I think he's having a hard time detecting me because he's already stopped firing. And I'm pretty sure that's that. Not bad. I have a feeling taking care of the white flare is going to be a little tougher than this though. Okay, so into our first battle today. Brought 2 into the battle, but only 1 has spawned in yet, so it's 1 against the rest. Fleet is rated in the mid-60s, so basically going after it with essentially 18 missile bays we're asking a lot, but I think we can do it. Now, the reason I'm confident is the stockade now, which I believe we're facing, is nowhere near the ship that it used to be. It's made out of paper now, watch. Come on, it was hit by 9 missiles, that's it. And then for some reason, he's still dribbling in the odd sailboat, which just does not present any challenge. The only minus here is the missiles are equipped with 2 explosives and 2 EMP, and the EMP arguably doesn't have too much effect on a sailing ship. It's made out of wood. I guess if you're Onyx-Watch leadership, at this point you're just throwing everything you have against me anyway. It doesn't really matter. Your nation's about to die. It sounds so gloomy, but we're actually going to give them a much brighter future under the giant nation that we're creating. As long as you paint your boats orange, we don't care what color, race, or religion you are. Overall, I'm really happy with the performance of this new craft, and yeah, other than modifying the gun on top so it has a higher rate of fire, that's really the only sort of thing that I can think that needs to be improved. The range of the missiles is about 2,000 meters, which I feel is a realistic maximum. Without making them a lot longer, 2,000 is about as long as I can get them to go and still be still powerful. And even though I've bumped into a few things so far, overall I'm really happy with the maneuverability of this thing, that it's really not hitting as many things as it could have, considering how many things there are to hit in this area. So yeah, making it easy to turn is essential to make that happen. A few times you'll literally see it stop, crank itself around, and then start moving again, just to avoid hitting something. Very impressive. Here's our first big impact. I have it equipped with, I believe, 7 repair bots and about 4,000 units of material to repair it with. With a better gun, I'd be able to shred this ship a lot faster. Yeah, the gun I thought I had in there, or the one I plunked in there, was not the gun I thought it was, so yeah. I already have a better one ready to go, just haven't done the switchover yet. This boat has a layer of lightweight alloy on the outside, and I'm not really convinced yet that it was worth it. Its radar profile is still fairly high, so really what do I gain other than some lighter weight maybe? So yeah, I'm not convinced that it was worth it. It clearly doesn't have the armor of regular steel, so yeah, again, lightness and thus speed is really the only reason that it's the only real advantage. In testing, I noticed against the white flare craft, which tend to have a lot of high rate of fire armor piercing, the lightweight alloy, it gets punished fast and hard, so it's kind of something I have to take into consideration. Yeah, so as far as testing purposes is concerned, this sailing ship here really doesn't provide anything. One thing I have noticed after the detector update is the way the battle goes sometimes is the ships that spawn in of the enemy later into the battle, by that time sometimes the actual battle has drifted so far away from that spawn point that the enemy ships spawning in don't even detect the ship, your ship. They are essentially blind. And then you essentially go right after them, and yeah, you're hitting a blind target. Obviously, this only works if you're using small, hard-to-detect ships yourself. I'll try hard to actually record an example of what I just described, because it makes a pretty good video, I think. Okay, so what's left here? Maybe another stockade if we're lucky. Oh, second ship's come in now. It's gonna be 2 against whatever. Okay, yeah, so what's happening now is we're sailing back towards the enemy spawn point. That's how far we've drifted away from that area already. Another thing I have to do on this one is I want to stagger the anti-missile flares that shoot up so they're not both shooting off at the same time. One of those small things which makes a big difference when they're shooting missiles at you. Okay, it is a stockade. This won't last long. I rest my case. Yeah, I don't think this is a coincidence. Post-detector updates, stockades have really gone to hell. Oh, and that reminds me, the post-update Capital is no longer a dud. It's quite the formidable ship now. So this is the battle that we're going to involve this new stealthy, sneaky missile ship. We'll also include 30 torpedo boats to help us along. So basically 7 really small boats here going after, again, a mid-60s fleet. To be honest, we have 4 times 11 missiles shooting off at a time, and that's really going to decide the battle right there. That's a bit of a OP situation, but oh well. Now this is kind of funny. It takes me a long time here to figure out why the ship that I'm in command of isn't firing its missiles. Still haven't. Finally. We are still getting the odd shot, but it's very inaccurate and there's hardly any of them. It's virtually no threat. The torpedo boats, which are, I guess, a little ways away, are set to rotate around the enemy a little closer, so they're probably receiving the majority of the attention as far as fire being fired at is concerned. Again, I'm not even worried about the torpedo boats. Those things, in most battles, the only damage they take is from hitting each other. Almost never do they get hit. And they're so cheap that even if they do, no big deal. Battle's virtually over now. This Warden, it's almost pretty well done, and those, what, 2 Telemachuses, so unless something significant spawns in, it's already decided. I'll continue to test and develop stealthy ships because it's something really intriguing to potentially make one that works really well. So yeah, I won't stop, and I'll keep you posted. I can see a submarine being very hard to detect and having a lot of advantages post-detector update, but I think I already promised that this is new playthrough I'm doing now is going to be a surface ship only kind of thing, so I'll stick with that. We're still clearly firing at something, and everybody seems to have a full rack ready to go still. Not bad. This is about as relaxed and leisurely as a battle can be. We're essentially just having a picnic with our buddies and hitting the fire button every 10-20 seconds or so. Okay, yeah, we do have a new spawn in. Looks like maybe it's one of them there stockades again. You know, if the T-Mac or the Telemachus had a more light alloys as opposed to steel, because of its small size, it might be very hard to hit for a lot of people. I could be wrong, but in my experiments, keeping it small made it a lot easier to keep the stealth factor down. But making something that could sneak in under 1,000 meters was virtually impossible, so far anyway. But I found making something that couldn't be detected by expert or godly closer to 1,500 meters was extremely difficult. In fact, I didn't do it. I haven't been able to do it yet. Maybe if you combine low detectability with small size and really high speed, that would be the trick to being able to get close and for making them hard for them to hit you. That's what I'll experiment with next maybe. Either way, next episode will feature the new cruiser. That will be my mission. The new cruiser or bust. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll try to get the new episode as quick as I can, but I realize it's taking me a little longer than it used to now, so please have some patience. Thank you very much.